Well, everybody, Monday's here, and I'm as fired up as ever because it was a fantastic weekend. The show looks a little different today because Dale made some bad decisions in Vegas this weekend. We have some stories and quite a few experiences that we're going to wait to share together. I want him to tell everybody because that guy somehow always has some crazy thing happen to him. So he's hurting really bad, so I gave him the day off, but there was just so many headlines that I wanted to go over. I'm going to go solo today. I mean, it's like, where do you want to start, right? You had the World Series, you had some college football, there were some soccer games, the NFL, it was all over. Let's start last night with Sunday Night Football. DK Metcalf, as a giant of a human being as he is, I had no idea that he could run that fast. It's funny because last Friday, I was mentioning that the biggest fear when you're playing football is getting hawked. So that, again, quick definition, Buda Baker picked off Russell Wilson last night and was hauling ass down the sideline. And out of nowhere, it seemed like a flash just came into the stadium and tackled Buda Baker. That flash was DK Metcalf. And what was an excellent day to cap off the NFL. I am so glad that the Seahawks and Cardinals were able to deliver that to us last night on Sunday Night Football. It just seems like the Seahawks never play in a normal game. I can't imagine the psyche of Seahawks fans having to go through that roller coaster of emotions every game. But Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals were able to take care of business. And what was great, it was great. I mean, it was a shootout. You had a case where it was the present versus the future. You have Russell Wilson, who's in line to win MVP, and then you have the future in Kyler Murray, who I'm still struggling to find a player comparison because someone of his stature, which isn't very tall, and his speed and his ability to throw down the field, look, it's a recipe for success, hopefully for the Cardinals, who are excited. The NFC West is legit. So going into the game, the Seahawks were one of the three remaining undefeated teams left, and Arizona took care of business. The other marquee matchup in the morning was the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, a clash between Big Ben and Ryan Tannehill. And Big Ben, who has been a model of consistency, but always seemed to be injured throughout his career. As the Pittsburgh Steelers on track, they're 6-0. And my biggest question right now is, do they stack up against Kansas City? Kansas City had a weird game against Denver in the snow, but Mahomes continues to deliver and just win, and that's all that matters. Going forward, can I see the Titans and the Steelers in the AFC title game? Yeah, for sure. And again, I still think that Kansas City, unfortunately, is the class of the AFC. Another quick, comically atrocious game was the Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. Never would I have ever thought Todd Gurley scoring a touchdown was going to be in the Lions' favor, and they still found another way to lose. Well, as I mentioned in the beginning, since Dale is still painfully hungover, he had a pretty big football weekend as well. In the Big Ten, his Ohio State Buckeyes got a win over Nebraska, even though the beginning looked kind of shaky. And his Cleveland Browns are getting gassed the fuck up because they took on a Bengals team who Joe Burrow, I would say, has a very bright future. Now, he's giving Cincinnati Bengals fans a lot to look forward to in the future. But with the Browns, it's kind of like a vicious cycle, right? They got their ass kicked last week against the Steelers when it mattered most, and then against a woeful Bengals team, Baker delivered. Unfortunately, OBJ tore his ACL. But when you break down and look at the statistics and go full nerd, Baker Mayfield has projected and displayed better stats on the field without OBJ. Now, I still want him to come back. I don't know. I just feel like he is such a good talent. I'm just afraid, have we seen his ceiling? Is this the best that we've seen him? And he's done for the year. Of course, we have to somehow manage to get Tom Brady into the mix, but look, give credit where credit's due. He has the Buccaneers looking like they might be a strong contender to be playing in the first weekend of February. Brady, I don't know if he's 33 or 43. Welcome back, Rob Gronkowski as well. Gronk is looking like he's tuning back into shape. He did take a year off, and maybe that's what he needed. Now, my biggest question, though, is the Tampa Bay front office rolling the dice and are willing to sign Mr. Big Chest.
Call me Mr. Big Chest. Big Chest for now on. Big Chest Brown for now on.
Antonio Brown. You have a pretty good wide receiver room already. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, and then you can sprinkle in Gronk as well. Now, is AB going to go ballistic like he did in Pittsburgh and in Oakland? Is there going to be a helmet debacle? Is he going to be throwing stuff off of his deck? Is he going to be complaining to the media? Is he going to fart in the face of a doctor again? That guy's a walking train wreck. You got to think that the leash on him is very, very short. and he'll be walking on thin ice in Tampa Bay. But right now, Tampa Bay is rolling, and it's just weird because it seems like Tom Brady has single-handedly revitalized that entire franchise. As I was mentioning as we wrap up today, over the weekend, there was a ton of wacky headlines. And then with the World Series, there was a crazy game that my mind still cannot comprehend what happened on Saturday night. You had the LA Dodgers piss away a victory. They should have won the World Series already, but in Dodger fashion, what the fuck are you doing, Chris Taylor and Will Smith? Randy Arozarena tripped and fell, and there was 2 errors between Chris Taylor and Will Smith at the plate. No, not that Will Smith. That one that missed the ball right there. Yes. Now, they took care of business last night on Sunday. Now, they have an off day today, and they're going to be playing tomorrow. How does the Dodgers pitcher stack up? Are they finally going to get out of this dark cloud that they've been continuously complaining about since 1988? Kershaw was able to exercise those playoff demons and delivered 2 serviceable starts against the Tampa Bay Rays. The deciding game is going to be tomorrow. Who we got? I'm still going to look at some numbers, and I got to look at how this is going to match up. You have Tony Gonsolin and Blake Snell for the Tampa Bay Rays. Maybe this is it. Maybe LA unfortunately has to get a Lakers title and a Dodgers title. No, good for them. Good for them. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Dale, he better get his act together so we can get our show back on track. No, I'm just kidding. But he did have a lot of funny stories in Vegas that we're going to share when he gets back on. Go ahead and follow WOTM Daily right here. Got to drop it at WOTM Daily. You can follow me at Will Galvez. That's my name, at Will Galvez. Thank you for tuning in, guys, and we will be back on Wednesday.